Hello everyone, welcome to Archana's Teaching Hub. In today's class, we are going to study one of the most important topic in child development and pedagogy, Jean Piaget's theory of cognitive development. This topic is extremely important for CTET, TT, MAHA TET and other teaching examinations. In this class, we will understand four important concepts: Piaget's four stages of cognitive development, schemas, assimilation, and accommodation. And at the end, I will also explain the difference between assimilation and accommodation with a simple classroom example. So let us begin. Who was Jean Piaget? Jean Piaget was a Swiss psychologist who is famous for his theory of cognitive development. According to Piaget, children are not passive receivers of information. Children are active learners. They actively explore their environment, interact with objects and people, and construct their own understanding. Children learn by doing, exploring, thinking, and interacting with their environment. Piaget believed that children's thinking develops gradually through different stages. He proposed four major stages of cognitive development. These are sensorimotor stage, preoperational stage, concrete operational stage, formal operational stage. Let's understand each stage carefully. Sensorimotor stage. The first stage is the sensorimotor stage, age birth to approximately 2 years. The word sensorimotor contains two words, sensory plus motor. Sensory means using the senses and motor means physical actions or movements. During this stage, babies learn mainly through seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, grasping, moving, exploring objects. For example, a baby may shake a toy to hear the sound, put an object in the mouth, or throw an object to observe what happens. Object permanence. One of the most important achievements during the sensorimotor stage is object permanence. Object permanence means understanding that an object continues to exist even when it cannot be seen. For example, suppose you show a baby a toy and then hide the toy under a blanket. A very young baby may behave as if the toy no longer exists. But as the child's understanding develops, the child search for the hidden toy. This shows the development of object permanence. Object permanence is associated mainly with the sensory motor stage. Pre-operational stage. The second stage is the pre-operational stage, age approximately 2 to 7 years. During this stage, children develop the ability to use language, symbols, mental images, pretend play. For example, a child may use a stick as a pretend store or a box as a pretend car. However, children's thinking is still not fully logical. There are several important characteristics of child stage. Egocentrism. Children often find it difficult to understand another person's point of view. This is called egocentrism. For example, a child may assume that because they can see something, another person can also see it. Piaget studied this using the famous three mountain task. Centration. Another characteristic is centration. Centration means focusing on only one aspect of a situation while ignoring other important aspects. For example, suppose we have two glasses containing equal amount of water. One glass is short and wide while the other is tall and narrow. If the child thinks that the tall glass contains more water simply because the water lives in a higher, this demonstrates centration. Lock up conservation. Children at this stage generally struggle with the concept of conservation. Conservation means understanding that equality remains the same even when its appearance change. For example, if the same amount of water is just transferred from the short glass to a tall glass, a child may think that the tall glass contains more water. Egocentrism, centration, and lack of conservation are important characteristics of the pre-operational stage. Concrete operational stage. The third stage is a concrete operational stage, age 7 to 11 years. This is a very important stage for a CTET and other teaching examination. During this stage, children begin to think logically but mainly about concrete or real objects and situations. They become capable of understanding conservation, classification, seriation, reversibility, and logical relationships. Conservation. Children now understand that equality remains the same even if the appearance changes. For example, they understand that transferring water from one container to another does not necessarily change the quantity of water. Classification. Children can classify objects into groups based on their characteristics. For example, animals can be classified into different groups. Plants can be classified according to different characteristics. Seriation. Seriation means arranging objects according to a particular characteristic such as height, length, weight, size. For example, a child can arrange sticks from shorter to longest. Reversibility. Children understand that an action can be mentally reversed. For example, if 5 plus 3 is equal to 8, then they can understand the 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. Important imitations. Although children can think logically, their reasoning is generally strongest when dealing with concrete and observable situations. Concrete operational stage is logical thinking about concrete objects and situations. Formal operational stage. The fourth and final stage is the formal operational stage. 11 years and above. During this stage, adolescents develop the ability to think beyond concrete situations. They can think about abstract ideas, hypothetical situations, possibilities, complex problems, scientific reasoning. For example, a student can think about questions such as what could happen if gravity suddenly disappeared? The student does not need to physically experience the situation to think about it. This demonstrates hypothetical and abstract thinking. Student can also develop systematic problem solving ability. Abstract and hypothetical thinking is associated with the formal operational stage. Now, what is a schema? Now, let us understand another very important concept, schema. A schema is a mental framework or organized pattern of knowledge that helps a child understand and respond to the world. In a simple language, a schema is a mental structure that helps us organize information and experiences. For example, suppose a child develops a schema for a dog. The, the child's dog schema may include four legs, fur, tail, barking, running. Now, suppose the child sees another animal that looks similar to a dog. The child may initially think this is a dog. This is where assimilation becomes important. What is assimilation? Assimilation means using an existing schema to understand new information or experience. New experience fits into an existing mental framework. For example, a child already has a schema for a dog. The child sees a wolf for the first time because the wolf looks similar to a dog. The child says dog. The child is trying to understand the new animal using the existing dog schema. This is assimilation. A new information plus existing schema is equal to assimilation. Remember, in assimilation, the existing schema is generally used without fundamentally changing it. Now, what is accommodation? Suppose the child learns this is not a dog, it is a wolf. The child discovers that the existing dog schema is not sufficient. Therefore, the child modifies the existing understanding and develops a new or adjusted schema. This process is called accommodation. Accommodation occurs when an existing schema is modified or a new schema is created to deal with new information that does not fit the existing schemas. Existing schema does not fit, modifying created schema is equal to accommodation. Now, assimilation versus accommodation. Let us understand the difference clearly. Assimilation, the child tries to fit new experience into a existing schema. For example, child sees a wolf and say dog. The child is using the existing dog schema. Accommodation. The child change the existing schema or create a new schema. For example, child learns dog and wolf are different animals. The child modifies the previous understanding. Therefore, assimilation is equal to fit new information into existing schema, and accommodation means change the schema to fit new information. Imagine a teacher shows a student a picture for a whole wall. A child says fish. Why? Because the child already has a schema that says animals and that live in a water are fish. The child is trying to understand the whole wall using the existing schema. This is assimilation. Then the teacher explained a wall lives in a water but is a mammal, not a fish. The child changed their understanding. Now the child develops a new understanding. Some animals live in a water but are not a fish. This is accommodation. Learning process. Piaget's theory suggests that learning involves continuous interaction between experience, schema, assimilation, accommodation, and new and modified schema. Children encounter new experiences. They try to understand these experiences using their existing schemas. If the information fits, they are assimilation. If it does not fit, they modify their schema through accommodation. In this way, knowledge continuously develops. Equilibrium. Another important Piaget concept is equilibration. Equilibration refers to the process through which a learner tries to achieve a balance between existing knowledge and new experiences. When new information does not fit an existing schema, the child experiences a kind of cognitive imbalance or disequilibrium. The child then adjusts their understanding through accommodation. Evenly, a new balance or equilibrium is achieved. So, the simplified process is existing schema, new experience, disequilibrium, assimilation, and accommodation is equal to equilibrium. This process contributes to cognitive development. Piaget's theory has important implications for teaching. The teacher should not simply provide information and expect children to memorize everything. Instead, teachers should provide opportunities for a student to explore, observe, manipulate objects, ask questions, solve problems, discover relationships, discuss ideas, learn through experiences. Teachers should also consider the developmental level of child. For younger children, concrete object and achievement can be very useful. For older learner, teachers and gradually introduce abstract reasoning and hypothetical problems. So, Jean Piaget's theory teaches us an important idea. Children are active constructor of knowledge. They do not simply receive knowledge from teachers. They build and recognize their understanding through interaction with their environment. Their schemas develop through assimilation and accommodation, and their cognitive abilities progress through four major stages: sensory motor, pre operational, concrete operational, and formal operational. I hope this explanation has made Piaget's theory easy and clear for you. If you are preparing for a CTET, MAHA TET, and other teaching examination, make sure you revise this concept carefully because questions from Piaget's theory frequently asked in a child development and pedagogy. Thank you for watching. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep growing. All the best for your examination.